What a disaster. There's just no other way to describe what happened on CNN last night. Unmitigated disaster. I didn't think it could get any worse than Johnny B. Biden. At least our former fearless leader had an excuse for his lack of charisma. What is Cam's excuse? How can someone possibly be this unrelatable, this uncharismatic? TV in general last night was disastrous. College football season, it officially kicked off last night with an exciting matchup between Northeast Southwest Dakota State Citadel against Colorado. The game should have been a blowout, but Colorado proved once again that they are just as bad or possibly even worse than they were last year. And to make matters worse, for the first game of the season, ESPN, they made the brilliant decision to put Mark Jones. Who? Mark Jones! Mark Jones! ESPN. They put Mark Jones, who is without a doubt the most insufferable, painful, the absolute worst broadcaster in the history of broadcasting. ESPN, they would have been better off having a group of mimes calling that game than making viewers suffer through 3 hours of Mark Jones. But even with Captain Doofus on the broadcast and Colorado playing an elite high school level team, the game on ESPN, it was a hell of a lot more entertaining than CNN's painfully boring interview with Cam Harris. This could not have been set up any easier for cackling Cam. For starters, your first one-on-one interview, it was with your pretend friends at the Cemetery News Network. You didn't have to worry about the gotcha questions. Tough questions like, why does your vice presidential candidate put tampons instead of paper towels in the men's restroom? The interview was moderated by the super friendly Dana Bash, who for reasons unknown prefers to be called Dana. Okay. This one-on-one interview, it wasn't even one-on-one because Cam, she decided to invite tag-along Tim, who was just happy to be there. The interview was tape delayed. It was pre-taped, so Cam was given the added benefit of having CNN editing out all the flaws. My inside sources are telling me that Cam and Timmy, they actually spoke to CNN for about 8 hours, but CNN, they only had about 40 minutes of usable footage. But all kidding aside, this was Cam's moment to shine. This was Cam's moment to prove that she could handle a softball interview. I don't think anyone was surprised when the end result was huge embarrassing failure. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go ahead and start with the only man in the room, the man who failed to realize that this was supposed to be a slumber party with no boys allowed, tag-along Timmy. Timmy was there for moral support and to step in for Cam when she was stumped by CNN softball questions. He was supposed to be the political veteran. He was supposed to be the one who knew how to dodge. Answer questions. Dana Bash, or Dana Bash, she asked Timmy about his vivid dreams of fighting in an actual war. Earlier this week, the Cam Harris campaign, they claimed that Timmy misspoke when talking about his military service. He didn't mean that he was actually in combat. He meant that he was playing Mortal Kombat. It was a simple mistake. Dana Bash asked Tim Walz about his dreams of war, and if he misspoke when he claimed that those dreams were actually reality. According to Timmy, his claims of mythical valor, they can be easily explained as a grammatical error. Watch for yourself.
We were talking about, in this case, this was after a school shooting, the ideas of carrying these weapons of war. And my wife, the English teacher, told me my grammar is not always correct. But again, if it's not this, it's an attack on my children for showing love for me, or it's an attack on my dog.
What? Excuse me? Come again? You expect me to believe that the decades you have spent lying about your level of service were simple mistakes in grammar? Since there seems to be some confusion here as to what constitutes as grammar, let me give Tim Walz an example. A mistake in grammar would be me saying, "What the hell?" when I heard Tim Walz say this last night, instead of saying what I actually meant to say, which was, "What the fuck?" That is a grammar error. What Tim Walz has been doing for the past few decades, that is not a grammar error, that is a lie. This should have been one of the many times that CNN pushed back against the rhetoric. The follow-up question, it couldn't have been any easier for Dana Bash. Well, a grammatical error could explain it if this happened only once, but this has been going on for a while, Timmy. How do you explain that? At which point, Tim Walz would have said, "They won't stop making fun of my dog." I can promise you, Timmy, no one gives a shit about Fido. But like I said, Cam Harris, she was an absolute disaster last night. Maybe it's just me, but every time I hear Cam Harris speak, I feel like she's talking down to me. I feel like she's talking to me like I'm a child. If you remove politics from the equation, one thing that most presidents have in common: charisma. George Bush, W. George Bush consistently butchered the English language. He was a constant blooper. W. He was known for inventing his own words. Strategery. I'm not an economer. Yeah, me either, Georgie. Matter of fact, I could not name an economer because I don't think they exist. But even with his constant gaffes, it didn't change the fact that George Bush, he had charisma. Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, unmatched charisma. Donald Trump, oh, man, bad. Donald Trump is charismatic. Ronald Reagan, JFK. Most elections, they are won by the candidate who is the most relatable. In order to be relatable, you gotta have charisma. Unfortunately for Cam Harris, she is a charisma vacuum. I have seen unknown dump divers in the WNBA with more charisma than Cam Harris. That interview last night, it almost felt like a eulogy. It felt like I was watching Cam Harris bury her campaign in the woke cemetery. At one point, Cam Harris claimed, "Dana, I've got great news for you. I bring good tidings of fake joy. Inflation is down to 3%. Woohoo! Yes, yes, yes." 3%? 3%? You expect me to believe inflation is only 3%? Are we talking about pesos? Are we talking about the yen, the won, the euro, the British pound, the ruble? I know for damn sure Cam could not be referring to the American dollar. I don't know if Cam knows this, but there are these things called price tags at the grocery store. Unless someone is blind, they can read them. Technically, Cam Harris is right. When compared to July of last year, inflation only rose by 3%. And the past 4 months, inflation has declined. But Cam is comparing inflation to the high-ass prices from last year. What she is really saying is prices have increased off of the increase. If you compare current prices to 2020, inflation is damn near 22%, meaning that dollar in your wallet, it has lost 22% of its value in the last 4 years. Did you get a 22% raise? As you guys know, Cam Harris claims to have changed her mind on a lot of key issues. After 3.5 years of absolutely bruising the southern border, Cam is now claiming that I am tough on illegal immigration. I have the perfect solution to this ongoing crisis. Under my leadership, I promise to permanently solve this problem. On my first day in office, Commander Cam will legalize illegal immigration. See? Problem solved. Cam Harris is now claiming that she's going to be tough on the border. After years of pushing to defund the police and replacing the police with social worker Shanice, Cam is now committed to fighting crime. Basically, Cam has been emulating the dancing queen Jackie Mahomes, and she has done the two-step from all the way from the far left towards the center. Last night, Dana Bash, she asked Cam Harris about her ability to be a chameleon. CNN asked Cam about her constantly changing values. Now, this could have been a tough question for Cam Harris to answer. Keyword, could have. The question was made a hell of a lot easier for Cam because CNN, they decided to make it multiple choice. Watch for yourself.
How should voters look at some of the changes that you've made, that you've explained some of here in your policy? Is it because you have more experience now and you've learned more about the information? Is it because you were running for president in a Democratic primary? And should they feel comfortable and confident that what you're saying now is going to be your policy moving forward?
Dana, I think the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed.
Your values have not changed. 2019, Cam Harris was against fracking. Matter of fact, I think she wanted to outright ban it. 2024, her values supposedly changed. 2019 until the beginning of August 2024, Cam Harris supported open borders. All of a sudden, she is pretending to be tough on immigration. If Cam Harris is claiming that her values have not changed, what are we supposed to believe? Which chameleon is the real Cam? Is it the tough on crime Cam that supports fracking, or is it potentially the real Cam that we have seen the last 3 years? Donald Trump in the past has accused Cam Harris of changing personalities when she is around certain demos. Trump has claimed that Cam Harris is doing this for political reasons. Last night, CNN asked Cam Harris about this potential transformation. As expected, Cam, she completely dodged the question with her signature giggle. Watch for yourself.
He suggested that you happened to turn black recently for political purposes, questioning a core part of your identity.
Yeah.
And he,
Same old tired playbook. Next question, please.
that's it?
That's it.
Next question. Next question. Did I miss something? Did I miss the joke? I like jokes, but did I miss it? What the hell was Cam Harris laughing about? Apparently, I was not the only one that missed the joke, since Cam Harris seemed to be the only one in the room frantically laughing. Earlier this week, Don Lemon, he released a report. He interviewed random people on the streets of major cities, and Donnie found that a lot of the people that he was talking to, they did not recognize Cam Harris. They had no idea who in the hell she is. Now, some people think that's a good thing for the Trumper, and maybe it is, but the more I have thought about it, I actually think it's very concerning. I think anonymity works in her favor. The vast majority of people, if they knew the real Cam Harris, I don't think they would vote for her. That could be the reason that she is suddenly shifting her platform towards the center. That could be the reason that she is running as a moderate. It could also be the reason that she potentially gets away with it. Because you already know, the mainstream media, they are going to cover for her. It was reported last night that Cam Harris, she has declined to participate in the Fox News debate. It seems that Cam only wants to participate in debates or participate in interviews with friendly mainstream media outlets. I wonder why. Give me your thoughts on this. Did you guys watch that painfully boring interview on CNN last night? I watched the entire thing because I knew I was going to be talking about it today, but otherwise, I would have been watching college football or rewatching old seasons of The Challenge on Paramount Plus. It was that bad. But give me your thoughts on the interview. Also, what do you think of the anonymity of Cam Harris? Do you think that will work in her benefit, or do you think it could be a good thing for the Trumper? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.